This is probably not what you expected seeing when you walked into this video. Why do dogs always wake up every single day and choose violence? Good morning, everybody. I know that the title might be a little inflammatory to some people. I understand that. All I ask is for you to come here. Fucking dog, man. So all I'm asking from you is to come into this video with calm tits and an open mind. I'm gonna take you in the day of a life of an anti-capitalist influencer, which I know is an insane sentence. It's kind of crazy to put those two words together. And so I want to define how I view the word influencer first and foremost, because to me, influencer is not a bad word. It's just the current word that we use to define something that has existed for actually thousands of years. In the current form, influencers are people on the internet that exist to look good and promote products. But the reason why they're influential, why they have the ability to promote those products, is because in our current times, we put value on materialism, on financial success, and on physical appearance. But it's a lot more complicated than that, because there are multiple people online that are doing influencing, but on not such a superficial and not such a materialistic level. This analogy is going to make a lot of people angry, but in the past, people would either flock to churches to listen to a pastor talk and would modify their lives and their behavior based on the things that the pastor would tell them. In ancient Athens, people would flock to the philosophers and they would sit and listen to what they had to say. There is also a lot of revolutionary icons, and people would flock to them and listen to what they had to say and would modify their beliefs and even sacrifice their lives based on what would come out of the mouth of an influencer of other times. Influencer is now a derogatory word, but that's because influencing has been incredibly corrupted by capitalism. What I'm saying is basically that I am your priestess, and I thank you for coming here today to listen to what I have to say. Welcome to my very unaesthetic bedroom at the moment. I have not managed to fix this place up as of yet. I've been a little busy, being too tired and overwhelmed by life. I need to find an outfit. Give me a minute. So at first I thought I would sit and talk to you about what anti-capitalism means to me, but instead I figured it's better to just show you. One thing that I do every day is wear clothes, and for me what wearing clothes means is boycotting big fast fashion companies like Zara, H&M, Boohoo, Shein, AliExpress, Amazon. People buy clothes from there, I've heard. I feel so sorry for those poor unfortunate souls. I got these jeans secondhand from Depop. I will wear the jeans with this vest, which is just ancient, old. Belonged to my mom, my sister, who knows, but now it belongs to me. I'm gonna layer it with this little dirndl, vintage thrifted. So the most contradicting thing about anti-capitalist influencer is obviously like, how do you make your money? When it comes to doing social media for a living, obviously for a lot of people, Patreon is a way for them to earn money. But for the people that are not making enough through Patreon, you also have YouTube ads. The ads that play on my videos are not ads that I've chosen, and many of the products are things that I would never promote or support or even buy. Let's keep going. Demonetizing my videos is not an option, because then nobody is ever gonna see them again. So for me, one option that has worked really well are sponsorships. I am incredibly selective with the brands that I work with. I obviously reject almost every single email that I receive, and then if it is a company that, you know, is on par with my ethics and my standards, and I like their product, it's a good product or a good service, then I will work for them. for a fair price. So today's video is actually sponsored by Endel. If you're having a hard time focusing on your daily tasks, studying or working, or if you're dealing with stress, anxiety, or having trouble sleeping, Endel is made for you. Endel takes everything we know about sound and combines it with cutting-edge technology. The result is real-time, personalized soundscapes designed to help you relax, focus, and sleep. I oftentimes struggle with PMS-related stress, so whenever I need, I select the relax option on the main page of the app, do a quick meditation, and the sounds will help calm me down right away. I used to play white noise on my phone to fall asleep, but Endel Sleep soundscapes are literally the best that I have ever used, and I'm not just saying this because they're sponsors. They are sponsors because their sleep soundscapes were that good. The sound will knock you out like a baby, so don't play it when you're driving or if you have work that you need to get done. It's also super convenient because you can easily set a timer or just let it play all night. If I have chores or work that I need to get done but really don't want to, I'll use the study, focus, or one of the more specific scenarios that Endel offers to put me in a deeper concentration mood. The first 100 people to download Endel at the link in my description will get a free week of audio experiences. Huge thank you to Endel for sponsoring today's video. And this is the final look. Vintage, thrifted shoes. The scrunchies from my friend Jasmine. She has two Depop shops. It's the Closet Ghost and Piracy. And this is also thrifted. And this is from Pink Punk. And these are from Sway. These two are new and the companies are ethical and sustainable. My mirror is incredibly dirty. Shit. Okay, well, I gotta go. So as I'm taking you on a tour of this magical junkyard, I want to define what anti-capitalism means to me, since its definition is pretty broad. So anti-capitalists are people that generally oppose capitalist ideologies and seek to replace capitalism with another economic system, usually some type of socialism. For me, a common peasant with a YouTube channel devoted to environmentalism, ethical fashion, and veganism, the research that I had to conduct to make in-depth video essays on these topics led me to acknowledge how deeply destructive capitalism is. In my baby vegan days, I was told that consumers can control the market and slaughterhouses will be all but a thing of the past if consumers demand more vegan options. Not exactly how the world operates under capitalism. Any industry that has power and political influence, in our case the meat industry, will lobby to manipulate laws to get subsidies that make their products competitively cheaper. They will also have a higher advertisement budget, therefore more access to brainwash the public into consuming their goods. Capitalism is also the reason we've ended up with the biggest wealth gap in the last 50 years. And this wealth gap is translated into things like gentrification, wages that aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living, and devastating environmental destruction. Capitalism is also deeply hierarchical, so things like the patriarchy, ableism, or racism will never be eradicated within this system. Supporters of capitalism believe that the issues I just mentioned can be tackled within capitalism. I absolutely disagree. Inclusivity and this faux idea of intersectionality that we are currently experiencing is only possible as long as it is profitable. For example, an H&M t-shirt that says "Smash the patriarchy" is a performance of feminism, as the only way to produce that t-shirt in huge quantities and keep prices low to meet fast fashion demands is by using underpaid labor, and most garment factory workers are women. Making #empowering clothes for women requires the exploitation of other women. Anti-racism is only acceptable as long as Nike can slap their logo on it. Homophobia is not cool as long as you can sell a dead cow wrapped in rainbow-colored bread. This is where many anti-capitalists point out that this is the reason why there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. I both agree and disagree here. There's absolutely a scale from the most harmful thing you can consume to the least harmful. The way one single person consumes does have virtually no impact, but altogether we are not just one person. When a lot of people decide to shop less and support small businesses instead of the top 100 biggest multinational corporations, over time, that does make a difference. At the moment, these corporations are so powerful and have such a huge global political influence that democracy is virtually non-existent. Under this corporatocracy, citizens are converted into human capital stock and consumers, and as such, our labor and our consumption are the only two peaceful protesting powers we hold at the moment. So what I'm trying to say in this super long TED Talk is that anyone that has the privilege to still be in control of what they consume and also what labor they choose to produce, aka like what their job is, should 100% use that privilege to weaken capitalism. Mindful consumption will never get rid of capitalism, but in my opinion, it can weaken it. And weaken it we must. Half of the things in my place are from the side of the road and the other half are secondhand. And I feel like my place is decorated better and more affordably than people that have spent thousands on IKEA shit. And I'm not saying that to show off, but to show that secondhand is cheap, and if you have taste, it looks good. You can do bougie with secondhand. It doesn't have to be new. Every place has its junkyard guy. In every town, there are people dropping beautiful furniture on the side of the road. You can always find someone in your neighborhood selling something that will suit your space on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever reselling website people use in your country. Let go of the mindset of, I want something right now and I will have it right now, and embrace the beauty of things finding you in their own time. Hey, Gigi. Back from the junkyard now. I'm gonna link his YouTube channel below, the guy that has it, because his YouTube channel is in Greek and he posts junkyard related jokes every day. So he's very whimsical. Before I show you what I got though, let's look at this boy over here. Let's look at this boy. This is Spock. Yes. Yes it is. Oh my goodness. Spock likes belly rubs because he is a literal angel. And we have Gigi here. Yeah, I did. I pet him, all right? I smell like your brother. Calm down. Calm down. Right, so let me show you what I got. Obviously, these are gonna need a lot of cleaning. What is it, Gigi? So I got a K. This is a metal K. And I also got this plate that needs a lot of cleaning, but I really like the metal details, the gold details. I also found this. And yeah, I don't have one of these, and I love that it's wooden because all the new ones are plastic for painting, because I do that all the time. I wanted this so I can keep my water in here, in the fridge and not in plastic. And there's a few other stuff that I need to clean. As you can see, the clothes is naturally dried outside. We don't use whatever that machine is called that dries your clothes. I don't even know what it's called. I've never used it. I am so good at this environmentalism thing, like wow. A few of the other ways I like to use less energy is by turning on the hot water 30 minutes before I shower and then shutting it off. I also limited my plane travels pre-Panasonic times, but also I haven't traveled anywhere in 3 years, and I've built some serious negative ecological footprint that I am gonna be cashing out soon. I also don't have a car, and I use public transport whenever possible, and I would like to have solar panels if I have my own place one day, but in all honesty, if you need to travel more by plane, or if you need to drive often for whatever reason, or if you use a clothes dryer, machine, whatever it's called, this is fine. It's not a competition about who wastes less energy. Do whatever you can. Don't feel guilty if you can't do the rest. Let's talk about food. So when it comes to food, I obviously try to eat as local as possible. There's actually a farmer nearby here, and me and my mom visit occasionally. We get stuff like cucumbers, tomatoes, zucchini, lettuce, spinach stuff, peppers, a whole bunch of things. When I lived in the city, obviously I didn't have access to something like this, so now that I'm here, I like to take advantage of that. And for me, you know, it goes without saying that I'm also vegan. That's not only for anti-capitalist reasons. For me, veganism is also like just the simple thing of like, I don't believe that anyone should die for me to eat them from the moment that I have other options. But even though I am a strict vegan, I can completely see that there are many gray areas that a lot of vegans don't like to discuss. So yeah, when it comes to diet, I again, do not support punishing yourself in order to try to be perfect. It's about just adjusting to your lifestyle and also your health needs. Especially when it comes to diet, it's incredibly complicated because, you know, there's things like eating disorders. You know, when you are making changes to how you eat and the things that you eat, it can be triggering to people. So it's very important to like do as much as you can handle. For me, for example, veganism doesn't bother me at all. It's not triggering at all. But what is triggering is zero waste. So I just stay away from that, even though I would love to be able to eat a diet that is completely void of all plastic and to not shop things that are wrapped in plastic and that kind of thing. It's very impossible for me to do that without getting triggered. I'm gonna put over here like the internet people that actually do really great vegan food. I'm not one of them, and I'm never gonna be one of them, and so I don't want to focus more on food.
Few moments later.
I mean, look at these figs. These are from the garden. Look at him. Look at his butt. Look at that fig butt. Oof. Look at this. We have gluten-free pasta. We have cherry tomatoes from the farmer nearby. We have nutritional yeast over that. And we have some delicious pesto with basil from the garden. Yas, yas. Yas, yas. A pet peeve of mine is food waste. I cannot stand seeing food getting thrown away or rotting. Around 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted. This food makes up 20% of landfills, and when it breaks down, it releases methane, a greenhouse gas 21 times more powerful than CO2. US Americans are, of course, the ones that are throwing away the most food, but it's all affluent households that participate in that, as well as food services and the general agricultural process, transportation, and distribution. The most disgusting part, for me, is that 35% of all sea life and 20% of land animals are tossed in the bin every year. To put this into perspective, out of the more than 60 billion animals that humans slaughter for food, more than 12 billion of those animals die just to end up in the trash. Let that sink in for a moment. So for me, I never throw food on my plate away. The problem that creates is that no matter how full I am, I'll just keep eating until the plate is empty. So what I do is I use vintage plates that tend to be smaller, and then I just have seconds or even thirds until I'm full. I also make sure that if I'm buying fresh produce, to either buy small quantities or store them in water so that I'll have enough time to eat them before they go bad. For the remaining food waste, I compost it because we have a garden, but when I lived in the city, I just had to throw it away. Some cities have composting bins and some don't. Overall, again, it's about adjusting to your lifestyle and the resources that you have available, and sometimes just helping a family member or a friend be less wasteful will go a much longer way than you feeling bad about letting one cherry tomato go bad, you know? I'm about to do a little bit of editing now, so I've set my Endel to study. There's also more settings over here like deep work, homework. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about my technology, considering that this is a big part of my job. And you know, technology is not known for being eco-friendly, and the companies that are making these products are not known for being anti-capitalist in any way. So this laptop, I got this in 2017, secondhand. And it's actually like doing fantastic still. I mean, I've taken it to get repaired a couple of times, but you know, that's not a big deal for me. 2017 to now, this is like 5 years. It can't edit in 4K because it crashes all the time. So I am gonna have to find a replacement for it. And again, I'm gonna be looking for something secondhand. I found this mouse in this house. I took it. It's a small one. It fits my small hands. And I've had it for like 5, 6, 7 years now. So this is the iPhone 11. I got it from Facebook Marketplace, secondhand. The case that I use is from Pila, which is a biodegradable case. And the thing is that I hate Apple products. I despise them. Because of my job, I do want to have good quality photos, and this is why I've just consistently just bought secondhand iPhones. There's so many things that bother me about it. You should definitely watch Shilbizzle's video about planned obsolescence. It's really good. When it comes to anti-capitalism and working as a social media influencer, content creator, call it whatever you like, here are my thoughts. Obviously, YouTube is a capitalist platform. On top of that, I'm helping YouTube make money. They take almost half of all the ad revenue that I make. Content creators are not treated as employees and are not included in making decisions about the operations of the future of the platform or are able to unionize. On top of that, the servers that YouTube uses consume a lot of energy, 2.5% of global electricity to be exact. So, not anti-capitalist, not eco-friendly, pretty much the exact opposite. But when I worked as a flight attendant, I was a cog in the machine of the aviation industry, another incredibly capitalist, environmentally destructive, and wasteful industry. When I was working for a wedding dress atelier, it was a small family-owned business, but the wages weren't living wages, and the boss was a verbally abusive misogynist. If you are not a trust fund baby, if you don't have a family business lined up for you or connections, or if you live in a country with almost no opportunities or prospects, work is about picking your poison. And for me, YouTube is the only poison I can personally live with. As the company that I'm helping make money is the opposite of everything that I stand for, I look for other ways to incorporate anti-capitalism in my work. from the sponsorships that I do to the topics I discuss and the way that I present them. When it comes to sponsorships, I had barely done any until last year, and I've been on YouTube for a while, 6 years to be exact. I barely had any savings while simultaneously living frugally and budgeting for my entire adult life. So I said, you know what? I think I deserve something a little better than this. And I started doing more sponsorships. Is throwing ads in my audience's face the most anti-capitalist thing? Absolutely not. But I think that at this point, you, my audience, also understand that for me to give you 25 minutes of free content, if 1 minute is spent by me talking about a service or a product that I genuinely love, and also meets my ethical and quality standards, and is by a company that is generously supporting my channel, I think that that's more than fair. The other part of my work is my responsibility towards my audience, not only when it comes to sponsorships, but also what I say, how I behave, the ethics that I promote. As a person that is putting my thoughts and opinions on the internet, I have to be way more informed about social issues than the average person, as what I say can not only hurt people that I don't want to hurt, but also encourage others watching my videos to be problematic in similar ways in their own life. I'm by no means perfect or unproblematic, but I'm always trying to educate myself on the issues that my audience faces, and I strive to make this channel as inclusive as my knowledge on the topics allow me to be. I want this to be a safe space for all women or queer gender nonconforming people, and simultaneously I also want this to be a space that is incredibly toxic for all cis hetero men. I'm still working on it. Hello and welcome to a very poorly lit night routine. When it comes to beauty products, I've made a video about that as well. I've made a video about everything at this point. I have no more original content left to make. So when it comes to beauty products, I stay away from Unilever. I stay away from, does P&G do beauty products? Johnson's & Johnson's. I've made a whole video about it, so you can watch that video. I'll link it over here, and you can see all the brands that I don't support. So what do I use? What products do I put on my face? Gigi, come here. Come here. Come here. We have a baby here. So after you do some initial research, it's actually pretty easy to like wear cruelty-free products, vegan products. The reason why I boycott companies like Unilever, I mean Unilever is one of the biggest ones because they make like from food to beauty products, cleaning products, all that shit. The way that they operate the business is through monopolizing the market and making all local businesses either run out of business or like have to sell out to these bigger corporations. The ingredients in their products, a lot of them have been proven to not be safe. The way that the products are manufactured are heavily polluting, and a lot of ingredients also come from slave and child labor. So in general, I feel like these corporations are committing crimes against humanity in the worst way possible, and so I don't want to have anything to do with them. And their products are shit anyways, like Unilever, P&G, whatever company you think of that's a huge multinational corporation. Their products are shit. Doesn't want me to put it down. Gigi, I want to do my night routine. Are you gonna let me? Like, I don't think she's gonna let me. This is her butt. Obviously, when it comes to makeup and beauty products, I don't want my stuff to be tested on animals. I don't want these little babies to be poked and prodded and cut with stuff and have their eyes ripped out. No, we do not do that to little babies. Have you ever seen the needier creature? It doesn't bother me at all. I must say I cannot complain. No, this is too much. Okay. There. You're done. You're over it. All right. There you go. All right, when it comes to my beauty routine, most of these recommendations came from Cassandra Bankston's YouTube channel. She knows everything about skincare. So I reached a point with my skin where I was like, I'm so tired I'm like almost 30 years old and I'm still getting breakouts like a teenager. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find beauty products that actually help. And I went on Cassandra's channel, typed in the issues that I had with my skin, and found all her videos that had solutions for it. And now my skin is the clearest that it's been since the last time that I took antibiotics, basically. This is it. This is no makeup, by the way. No makeup at all. I just don't want to jinx it because it's like way better than I would have ever thought. Anyways, this is what I use to clean my face. And this is the other product that I use. The clay cleanser is more intense and this one is more mild. And so I go based on my needs, basically. Today I'm gonna use the clay. Now that my skin is clear, my under eye bags and dark circles are a lot more prominent, which is not an issue for me. Without them, I would look like so refreshed and so full of life. And like, that's not how I want to be perceived, you know? Now that my skin is dry, I'm moving to the hyaluronic acid 2% and B vitamin by The Ordinary, and I'm gonna put 2-3 drops on my face. So this one is anti-aging. There we go. 2 drops are good. While I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm gonna put some chapstick. Moving on to the second layer. This is niacinamide 10%, zinc 1% by The Ordinary again. So this one is for breakouts. Blackheads, whiteheads, any head on your head, really. It gets rid of it. Wow, it says I'm here at 21 minutes. 21 minutes just doing my skincare routine. I feel like it's time well spent, honestly. Most of this time was just holding GGs, so it's not that my skincare routine takes that long. So now this is the final step. This is the moisturizer that I got from my Vegan Cuts beauty box. And this is a really nice moisturizer. This is it. All right, I'm ready.
So anti-capitalism looks very different for different people. For some, it's squatting in an abandoned house or fighting the system on a legal level. For others, it's activism and protesting. Everyone is forced to participate in capitalism. There's no way to completely opt out of the system, but the ways that every person resists can vary. It's not about perfection, and most importantly, it's not about self-flagellation. I don't believe in sacrificing your safety or your health for any belief. And it's not about following any specific person's rule book either. I'm anti-capitalist because I've experienced the negative effects of capitalism personally. And I saw the financial crisis in Greece caused by reckless capitalists completely obliterate the future of the youth of this country. Banks left people homeless for the houses to get snatched up by investment companies, and my family definitely also suffered financially from this crisis. Every time that I visit the beach, I see firsthand the environmental impact of overconsumption and the lack of responsibility taken by the companies producing all this waste. In a country that barely enjoys any of the benefits of capitalism and mostly suffers the consequences of it, I don't need to read Marx to know that capitalism is shit. I've lived it. So yeah, just me keeping it very light and casual as always. A huge thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you guys soon.